Hi all. So I've come out to Kennedy, which is in Cairns County, Texas. Kennedy is known as the home of the horned lizard, and the idea is to come and do some field surveys, field walking, and find some scat. And I'll be using that scat in imprinting the canine. So if you volunteer to actually collect scat to help with this program, I'm going to show you now what the basic kit will look like when you can get it, or you can make your own kit, and then how to collect the scat to ensure you don't contaminate it, so that when we imprint the dogs, all they're getting exposed to is pure lizard scat poop. All right, so let's look at the kit first. So here's a basic collection kit. There's a padded envelope there so you can mail the samples to me once collected. Some specimen jars, disposable tweezers. I've actually put in there a plastic spork, so you can pick up the poop with that and put it inside the containers if it's large enough. Some disposable gloves if you want to use them, Ziploc bags, and a pen. And the idea there is you can collect the samples within the jars, put them in a Ziploc bag, write on the Ziploc bag the date, the time, and the location where you found the scat. Now the location can be something general, such as an address, or if you want to use lat long coordinates, that's absolutely great as well. You can take a photograph, obviously, with your phone or something similar, and email that to me, and that's really useful so I can see where you found it and what sort of terrain, etc. All right, so let's collect some scat. So here's a typical location that we've been finding scat, at a ant nest or ant pad. The toads come and eat on these, or the lizards come and eat on these, and then might drop some scat nearby. And you see some scat here. So what I'm going to do is collect this scat without contaminating it with human sweat or DNA or anything like that, because obviously when we imprint the dogs, we want them to purely find the horned lizard scat. So I've opened my container, I've got my disposable tweezers, I'm going to collect the scat, and because it's so large, that's why I'm using this larger container. Collect all parts, put it in the jar. You can see I'm wearing disposable gloves because I want none of my sweat or odour on the outside of the jar, although, you know, if you don't have them, don't worry about it. What I do is disinfect the jars once they arrive at me anyway on the outside, and then seal the jar. And basically we want to make sure that there's no contaminants with inside the jar. Now if you collect some of the mud, some of the bits of ant, etc., that's absolutely fine, that's part of the smell. But what I don't need in there is sweat or anything off your fingers or anything inside the jar and contaminating the odour. So I've collected the scat, it's inside the jar, and I've placed it inside a Ziploc bag. And then on the outside of the bag, obviously I'm going to record the data that I said. The date, the time, and the location that the scat was actually collected from. And in this case, it was Kennedy City Park. And you can see I'm trying to write this at a difficult angle, so excuse the poor writing. And basically that's it. Then you would pop it inside the padded envelope and then mail it off to me. Do not be concerned if the scat breaks up. In the Texas heat, obviously it's very easy for it to dry out and break up. That has no bearing on the detection capability of the dog. It doesn't have to be in solid form. As long as we've got an uncontaminated sample, then obviously we can imprint the dog on that, and it doesn't matter if it's in parts or not. The dog's not looking for this visually, it's looking for it for his nose, so that doesn't matter. So when you collect it, if it's in broken parts, if it's got sand mixed with it, bits of ant, whatever it is, twigs, don't worry about that. It's more important that we get a variety of samples than it is we get samples that are in pristine condition for use in a textbook or something. All right, well, thank you very much for those that you volunteer and actually send me samples. We appreciate it. It is important for this program. Without a variety of scat samples, then it makes life very difficult for imprinting and training these dogs, particularly for field deployments for use anywhere within Texas. If you've got any questions, please email me. I'll include the email within this video. Get in touch with me. If you want some sample kits, we do have some, so I can send them out to you, as well as sample collection forms. If you take photographs of Scat with the samples and email them to me and let me know you're sending samples, that'd help even better. All right, thank you very much.